Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Back again today. Again, we're reading out of the book, The Mystery of the Black Hole Mine. So, yesterday, if you remember, Octavius, was really trying to kill DJ. He found the mine because of him. And then all of a sudden, Nels Abbas was there, and he was in trouble too with that guy. So we're going to continue reading chapter 12, Out of the Blackness. I seem to have this really crooked. Just a second. That's better. Slowly, DJ began drifting up from unconsciousness. There was a great roaring in his ears that was mixed with voices, but they made no sense. They babbled, saying things without words, making only sounds that sounded human yet had no meaning. Higher, very slowly, the boy drifted up from the blackness where the concussion had knocked him. DJ wanted to open his eyes, but they were too heavy, too tired. Vaguely, he sensed something passing between his eyelids and the sky overhead. He seemed to feel someone bending over him. DJ didn't know if it was a dangerous person or not, and he couldn't think clearly enough to react. DJ? The voice seemed to come from very great distance. You all right? The boy didn't recognize the voice. He tried to open his eyes to see who it was, but he was still drifting slowly upward, still only partly conscious. But what had happened? Something bad. But what? It wouldn't come to mind. DJ heard someone at his head where it rested on the ground. He felt hands reaching under his back and curling through his armpits to rest on the front of his shoulders. Alarmed, he wanted to cry out, but he had no power of speech. Dimly, as though it were happening to someone else, the boy was aware that he was being dragged backwards by his shoulders. Boy, my hair is wacky. He felt his boot heels bang loosely against the debris and brush, but there was no sensation of bumping or pain. Only his hearing seemed to work, and that imperfectly. Must be dreaming, he thought wearily. I hear my dog barking away off someplace, must be running a trail. And that sounds like Dad and Brother Stag and Alfred. A grayness like dawn slowly eased through his closed eyelids. Sort of mist seemed to float before his eyes. He tried again to open them. He heard rapid footsteps as though someone was running, but DJ was still being dragged backwards by his shoulders. He felt a final tug on his shoulders, and then the dragging stopped. His shoulders were released, and he rested full length on the damp earth. DJ? The voice seemed to come from a very far distance. Wake up! Wake up! Huh? DJ's voice sounded strangely weak in his own ears. DJ, did you say something? Talk to me. The voice was closer now, almost in his ears. Slowly, with great effort, DJ opened his eyes a crack. He wanted to say, where am I? But the words, they wouldn't come. He forced his eyes open wide and then wider and closed them instantly. But he had glimpsed the sky overhead and the soaring tops of the evergreen trees against Jawbone Ridge. And somebody, a boy. DJ's eyes popped open. He tried to sit up, but his body seemed paralyzed. It wouldn't obey his thoughts. DJ, can you hear me? Can you, huh? I can hear you, but I can't move. His voice was so low and weak. It sounded strange in his ears. A shadow moved across the sky. The trees disappeared, and a human face peered down on him. "Alfred?" he asked uncertainly, trying to clear the last of the mist from his eyes. "I told you, I'm not Alfred. Don't compare me with that little four-eyed character." The annoyance in the voice chased away the last of the fog. DJ's eyes focused on the face above him. Slowly the features took shape, an unwashed face with scars and bumps as though a herd of horses had ran across it. The face was surprisingly narrow for such a stout body. DJ got a whiff of a heavy winter coat. It smelled like wet dog. "Nails!" Upon recognizing the older bully who had always made life miserable for him, DJ automatically drew back. He jerked himself to a sitting position and scooted backward in the dirt. His back hit some brush, and he stopped abruptly. "Fine thing," Nails Abbas growled, pushing himself from his knees to his feet. "I save your hide, and you jerk back from me like you was snake bit." DJ blinked his eyes in surprise. His mind was clear, and his vision was now fully restored. He glanced around. He was in front of the Black Hole Mine, but it had changed. Where there had been a threatening entrance, there was now a great pile of debris. You what?" DJ asked, swallowing hard and slowly getting to his feet. "I pulled you out of that mess after that mine blew up. That's what I done. If I hadn't, you'd been buried to your neck in that stuff. But do you care? Nah. You ain't no more thankful than the other guy was." DJ looked around quickly. "Aura, Octavius? He tried to cut my rope. Where is he?" Nels pointed with his chin towards the debris spill outside the mine. "Guess you mean him. I dug his face out so he can breathe. But as soon as I freed his arms, he began hitting me with his fists. So I left him to cool off, and he passed out. Still is, I think. I'll need help to get the rocks and things off his legs." DJ heard a low moan. He glanced towards the sound and saw Aura, Octavius. "Sounds awake now," DJ said. He saw that Aura's hat was gone. His face was scratched, bloody and dirty, but he feebly waved his hands. "Help me!" The words were weak. "Help me, boys. I think my leg's broke." DJ slowly got to his feet as his strength returned. "Come on, Nails. Let's see if we can get him free." "He's out of his gourd, DJ. He was babbling something about gold before he passed out a while ago." The gold. DJ had forgotten. He glanced towards the mine's entrance, or where it had been. Now there was only a dirt slide that buried the mine opening under tons of rock and debris. The boy was no judge of mine disasters, but he didn't see any way the Black Hole Mine would ever be entered again. The whole mine seemed to have fallen upon it. Somewhere under the mass of rubble were some shiny objects in a pool of shallow water were also buried forever. But they couldn't have been nuggets, DJ realized, because placer gold was never found in hard rock mines. Then, where's DJ did his nuggets come from? He glanced around as he and Nails approached the moaning man with his legs buried in debris. Suddenly, DJ stopped and stared. His eyes darted along the ravine that swept the side of the Jawbone Ridge. It was very faint, but there were signs that water had eroded the side of the great mountain a long time ago. "What you looking at, DJ?" Nails asked. "Huh? Oh, I was just thinking. See that funny colored seam of earth running along the side of the mountain? I don't see nothing. Doesn't look as if it could have been made by a stream of water running along anywhere here. Maybe it's an ancient riverbed or a creek. Just looks like the side of a mountain to me, Nails grunted. DJ looked again and nodded. Yeah, maybe you're right. But DJ stole another look at the strange markings. If it had been an ancient riverbed, that would explain the nuggets he'd found. And there might be more. But there was no time to think about that now. The two boys began pulling debris from the man's leg. Who is this guy? Nails asked. He came at me out of the tunnel. Didn't have a light. Had a knife, though, I think, but it's gone now. Name's Aura Octavius, DJ said, testing to see if the man's right leg could be lifted from the mess. I met him with my grandpa. What's he doing here? Chasing a crazy dream, I guess. Yeah. What kind? Nails tossed the last piece of rock away and reached to take the man's hand. He had gold fever, DJ answered. Thought he'd discovered a gold mine he'd been looking for over many years. Well, he sure won't find it around here, DJ. No gold around here at all. Here, let's get him on his feet. DJ bent to help Aura Octavius stand. He made it, but immediately doubled over and almost fell. Oh, my leg. Nels kneeled to check it out. Aura's bleary eyes focused on DJ and recognition came. Didn't mean to harm you none, he said. Nels stood up. Probably busted his leg. Let's get him to that log where he could sit. No harm at all, Aura repeated to DJ. You could have fooled me, DJ said, as he and Nails helped Aura hobble towards the log. In fact, could have fooled me good when I was hanging over that pit in there and you were cutting my rope. Just wanted to scare you, that's all. The man's voice was low, almost pleading. DJ and Nails lowered the man to a sitting position on the fallen log. You did that all right, DJ admitted. Scared me when you shot those bolts, too. Didn't hit you, though, did I? Could have if I wanted. Nails asked, what's he talking about, DJ? DJ ignored Nails to answer Aura. You hit my stocking cap dead center. Proves my point, the man exclaimed, touching his fingertips to his bloody face and looking at the fingers. Don't you think I know the difference between a cap with a head in it and one that's stuck up on a stick? DJ had bent to check the man's leg, but glanced up to meet Aura's eyes. Excuse me. Guess you'd know the difference all right, but the rope was cut nearly through, so it broke. Wouldn't have if this here other kid hadn't surprised me, yelling like he did in the drift. Made me jerk the knife and cut deeper than I intended. I swear, I was just going to stop and threaten you, make you promise never to come around again. Nails obviously didn't understand what was going on. He said, my pop's got one of them bolt things. Lets me shoot it now and again. Or Octavius didn't seem to hear. He looked at DJ and said, that's my gold, you know. Been looking for it for years. Read all about Crazy Calhoun's mine and figured it had to be somewhere nearby. Soon as my leg's well, I'm going to reopen that mine and dig out the ore. Be richer than anything. And now you know what, boys? Sorry. Since you helped me up just now, I'll let you watch me do it. DJ smiled and started to laugh. Nails asked, what's so funny? I recognized someone else in what he just said. Yeah, who? Me, DJ said. Well, not anymore. Hey, listen. Hero's bark, sharp, loud bark, echoed off the mountains, and voices blended with it. It's my dog, DJ cried, looking back towards Stony Ridge. And my dad and brother Paul and Alfred, there they are, topping that rise. We're going to need them because of his leg. DJ waved and yelled. Hero let out a glad, explosive bark and raced towards DJ. Dad, brother Paul, and Alfred hurried down the hill towards them. Then it hit DJ. How did they know he was here? There was only one logical explanation. Alfred had told. But had he given away the secret about the gold, or just the place where DJ might be? Right now it didn't matter. DJ was just glad to be alive. DJ turned to Nails. I want to thank you for saving my life. Twice, in fact. Once in the drift, and out here when you pulled me away from the entrance. If you hadn't, that slide would have buried me alive. He didn't say anything about having just again saved Nails by making a flying tackle against Aura when he had Nails backed up helplessly against the dense undergrowth. Apparently, Nails didn't think about that either. Nails rubbed a dirty hand over his chin. Good thing I followed you when I saw you ditching school this morning. Didn't see this guy, though. Not until you were in the mine. Then he jumped me, and I ran out here just before the explosion. Thanks, DJ said quietly. Guess that'll make us even, DJ. You saved my bacon back when that outlaw bear was about to get me. DJ slowly nodded, remembering. Guess it does, he said. He turned to face the people rushing down the hill, and I guess Alfred told about our secret, or he'd never led Dad and Brother Paul here. What secret? What are you talking about, DJ? Nails asked. Nothing. Just thinking. Guess Dad was right. There's a time when it's too dangerous to keep secrets. DJ looked at what was left of the Black Hole mine. Whatever mystery it had held all those years was still safe. Crazy Calhoun's secret was buried under the mountain along with any gold that might have been there. DJ started walking uncertainly towards the oncoming party. Hero outran them and leapt up on DJ with joyous barking as the boy bent in front of him. DJ gently ruffled the mutt's scarred ears. Dad called, You all right, DJ? Everything's fine, except this man's got a broken leg, I think. Brother Stagg's big voice rumbled up from his deep throat. I'll look after him, Sam. You see to your boy. Father and son looked at each other for a long time. DJ saw Dad's jaws, muscles twitching. DJ, I've got a good mind to give you the thrashing of your life. You did a terrible thing. I know, Dad. DJ's voice was barely above a whisper. Grounding you isn't enough. You know what? But you're grounded except for Christmas shopping with Mom or me. You're not going anywhere alone until the new year. Meantime, I'll think on what other punishment is proper for doing such a thing. You hear me? DJ lowered his head and barely nodded. Yes, I deserve every bit of that, he whispered. Dad was silent for a moment, then he added more gently, Don't you ever scare us like that again. I won't, Dad, I promise. Dad looked with a sudden step. Dad took a sudden step toward forward that DJ automatically jerked back. In Dad's pre-Christian day, he would have whacked DJ backhanded and clean until next week, as Grandpa had once said. Backhand is like this. Instead, DJ found himself engulfed in his father's arms. For the first time in a long time, DJ was crushed in a powerful, caring hug. DJ glanced over the top of his father's wide shoulders and met Alfred's eyes. Dad let him go and stepped back, blowing his nose noisily in his big blue pocket handkerchief. DJ walked up to Alfred. He had been standing some distance away. Alfred, I did a bunch of dumb things, and I'm sorry. Forgive me? Alfred replied sheepishly, DJ, I told your dad and brother Paul because I thought you'd done a crazy thing and might be in danger. My father would have come help too, but he was... DJ interrupted impatiently. It's okay. Can you forgive me? Alfred grinned. Sure. Friends again? Friends, DJ said, reaching over to playfully punch Alfred on the shoulder. Oh, here. DJ dug in his pants pockets and pulled out both nuggets. Here, you take the big one. What? It's yours. I'm going to cash in this other one and give Nails half the money. With the rest, I'm going to buy the best Christmas gifts my family ever had. Brother Stagg's mighty voice broke through DJ's excitement. Reckon I've fixed up this leg about as good as I can under the circumstances. Dad nodded. Then let's get out of here while there's still some daylight. And while we're going, DJ, you can tell us what happened today. The boy did that. But that night he had repeated it for Two Mom and Pris. Later he had to tell Grandpa. By then everyone wanted to hear, so Two Moms set a night 1 week before Christmas when everyone who wanted to could come to their home. That is the end of chapter 12. So I think, yeah, just one more chapter. We'll finish this one tomorrow. All right, Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Sure glad you were with me. I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house and out of it, in the day and the night. Whatever you do, keep dreaming.